the markets, the pension funds could invest. The problem is that there is no, that the supply side, the barrier is on the supply side. Climate change specific financial products are not mature enough. The broader regulatory framework is not climate change friendly. And post-crisis financial reforms, in a sense, while they were trying to aim at financial transparency and financial stability, or have an unintended consequence of not helping promoting climate change-related financing. And yet, we need a giant leap today. And the only way to have this giant leap in issuance of climate change bonds is through government guarantees, but these do not come free. So what can we do then? To avoid exposing ever more citizens' money to private finance, be it green or not. One way would be to minimize the costs of those guarantees through innovative sources of financing. For example, part of the proceeds of a financial transaction tax could be used to fund those guarantees. Okay, so instead of having public money from public budget funding those guarantees, it would be the financial transaction tax. But obviously, we need more than that. As I said, green private finance may be green, but it's still about private finance. And with the crisis, we know that there are huge challenges with the transparency, the accountability of those investors. So when, for example, we talk about green bonds, we should prefer green bond issuance by public accountable institutions, banks, multilateral banks, and we should require much more robust transparency and accountability requirements from investors. But let's always remain one thing, is that there is always a risk here that through promoting private sources of financing of climate change, that it may actually weaken public services around the world. So we need to impose safeguards and restrictions to support public schemes. One way to do that is for every project to apply what you call the public sector comparator. That says if there is investment out there, and if there are private investors, to require governments to elaborate an alternative scenario to look at the public option, to check if the public option would not be more efficient, more transparent on the long term. Finally, if you want to know more about this paper, you can have it online on the ITUC website.